Good morning. It is 10:30 a.m. on a Friday, and I'm coming to you with another daily video. I'm just feeling like I wanted to say hello and thank you for watching, those few that are watching. I was told I had to make over 100 videos before YouTube would really recognize my channel, so I've just been making videos every day of whatever comes to my mind. I've talked about many different subjects, but the theme overall that I've noticed that I talk the most about is relationships. Probably because I'm in a new state right now, which is one of being single. And when my partnership of 7 years ended in 2021, yeah. When that relationship ended, I realized that anytime I had ended a long-term relationship, my pattern was to jump right into something else. Or in my case, I usually ran back to an ex because, I'm known for that. Let's try it again. Let's see, like it didn't work the last 20 times we tried, but let's try it again. Yes, I'm that girl. I remarried my first husband. He is also the father of my children, so, I really did believe that third time's a charm, It would have been my third marriage, actually, because I got married in between. During those 8 years we were apart, I did get married again, which is a whole other. I could do probably a whole series of videos on that relationship. It only lasted a year and a half, but I call it the worst year and a half of my life because so many bad things happened in that year, including my finger, which I actually just had removed in 2020, but I had it severed on a knife and it was stuck like this for 14 years. I never know what I'm going to talk about when I turn on the camera, but I've just been aiming to go for 10 minutes. So, my experience with being single. Well, the first thing I did when I knew my partner was moving on was to give myself time alone. And they say wait a year. I waited 6 months before I dated, but I still had the intention set that I was not going to get into another serious relationship. Like, it was okay to go on dates and meet people, but I found the dating scene was just everything's been sped up, with things being online. As soon as I changed my status on Facebook to single, I started getting invitations to join Facebook dating, which was free, and I thought, well, why not? I would say that after that worst relationship ended, I formed a relationship with someone in Australia that, someone I met in an online chat room. And I never met him, but it was the best relationship I'd ever had because at that time, all I really wanted was someone that would message me, talk to me. And he, of course, also had that sexy Australian accent. And back then it was when we used Yahoo Messenger. And I had those headphones, and I could actually hear his voice. And it was the most amazing thing ever to know that someone on the other side of the world was, that I could affect him, and excite him from, literally the other side of the world, 12-hour, like our time zones were so different, it would be morning his time when it would be night my time. And at that time, the best quality for a man would be one that would write to me, talk to me, but not be able to touch me. People are like, why would you choose someone all the way in Australia? I said, because they can't just show up at my door. They can't. I told myself that, it's because I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to have another man in my life after that last relationship. I knew I wanted to stay to myself, and I was also raising my sons. They were still quite young. They hadn't even reached their teenage years yet. So dating was different then. You know, now I'm 50 and my sons are raised, and they don't, I don't have to consider them the same way I did, you know, when they were living with me and 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you know. It's a different dating scene. And, you know, I've heard stories of, oh, you're more likely to get hit by a bus than find someone when you're this age. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think if anything, there is a lack of intimacy. There's a lack of connection. There's plenty of attention. You can get plenty of attention online, you know. And when people are anonymous and they don't have a face to put, you know, people will do and say some pretty extreme things online that they probably wouldn't if they were face to face. But what I've found I used the dating site for 1.5 years, and I'm completely done with it. I do not want to get back on there again. I don't see myself doing that because I feel like I've learned enough. I feel like I've done enough research, you know, and what it's like out there, and found that for the most part, I have everything I need. You know, I have people close by me that care about me, genuinely care about me. You know, friends and family that would be there for me if a real emergency came up. A good friend of mine, you know, reminded me, like, Deb, you know, these fellows from Facebook dating, like, where are they now? You know, it's like, yeah, where are they now? They're not here, you know. Granted, there was at least one that I feel like I messed up by, that maybe I should have, you know, been the girlfriend, because I felt he was boyfriend material. But I met him so soon into my single journey that I didn't want to settle down. You know, I wanted to see what was out there. And so there's times that I wonder if maybe I didn't mess up my one chance for happiness, but then I realized, no, that's not what, you know, I've been through serious relationships. I've been through marriage. I've been through that, you know, exclusivity, commitment, and what I know from my past experiences that I always wanted to know what it was like to be free and single, because I did get partnered so young. I married my husband, my first husband, at the age of 19, but we met just before I turned 18. So I moved away from home, met him, got married. So I didn't really have, you know, it wasn't until I started working on OU campus and started seeing how the college kids lived. You know, I was in my early 20s and they were in their, you know, 19, 20, 21. All they were thinking about was, am I old enough to drink yet? You know, I was old enough to drink, but I didn't drink alcohol when I was 21, a young mother. I was alcohol and drug free as a mom, and as a teenager too. It was not in my home. It was forbidden by my religion. I was raised Mormon. So there was no drugs or alcohol, even cigarettes or even coffee. This was my first sin, I guess, was drinking coffee. And I don't even consider it a sin. When it comes to the word of wisdom, it is words of wisdom. I mean, I think it's more of a, you know, cautionary, you know, be cautionary, because there are benefits to coffee. So it's not, I don't believe that it's wrong for me to have a cup of coffee, you know, the way I did at one time. But wow, I'm already at 10 minutes. I talked longer than I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off and give it a watch. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.